Glenda. Thanks for coming in today. My name is Jasmine. I'm a social worker here at the center, and I just thought we could talk a little bit. So, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing okay. I've definitely been better.
Okay. So I'm just gonna start things off by saying, what brings you in today?
Well, I recently visited the Women's Crisis Center, and they recommended I visited a counselor to talk with.
Okay, I see. Can you tell me about, or a little bit about your experience at the Women's Crisis Center so far?
Well, this is actually my sixth time going to the center. Told myself I wouldn't go back, but here I am. I keep finding myself right back here.
All right. Well, may I ask the reasons why you visited the center, or why you did initially from the start?
Well, it all started about 3 years ago when my husband Paco lost his job.
Okay.
He became more frustrated and on the edge all the time. And then the drinking and the staying out all night only made matters worse. And then one night, it just got to a whole different level, and he just hit me.
Oh, well, it sounds like that was maybe the first time that he ever done something of that magnitude.
It was, and he apologized immediately. And I forgave him because he never did that before, and I thought it was just an accident. But then the abuse didn't stop there. After that fight, we were good for a while, but then something would happen, and then he would get all angry, and then he would just take out all his frustration on me physically.
Well, it appears to me like you're stuck in a vicious cycle and are not sure what to do next. What attempts have you made in the past to try to make things better?
Well, like you already know, I found myself going to the Women's Crisis Center quite often. I turn to my friends at work for guidance. They all tell me that I should leave him and that life would be better without him, but they just don't understand, and it's just a lot easier said than done. I mean, we have a house together, we have kids together. It's just not something that I can just walk away from. And my Catholic beliefs are very strong, and once we're married, there's no getting divorced.
Wow, well, I see where this type of decision making can be very stressful and challenging, especially when kids are involved. And not just that, you mentioned a bunch of other factors like your house and your own beliefs, which make it only even more difficult. But even though these factors are in play when you're making a decision, the most important thing is the safety of your safety, and the safety of your children. Um, have you ever thought about leaving the situation?
I have. I mean, I've thought about it multiple times, and I thought about leaving him for good, and that I just was just gonna get up and leave and never come back. But obviously, that never happened because I'm just too afraid of leaving. I mean, he's never put his hands on my kids, and but sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I do fear that he will one day, and um, but then I just think of the fact that I don't make enough money, and how am I supposed to support my kids if I don't make enough money? So I might as well just take the beatings. At least that way I have a roof over my head.
I see. Do you have any other family that could perhaps help you at this difficult time in your life?
Well, my parents were definitely against me marrying Paco from the beginning. So the only time I really speak to them is during the holidays, so they can see the kids, and so I know that if they were to find out that I wanted to leave Paco, then they would disown me for good. And then there's my sister, but her life is just so perfect. I'm way too embarrassed to tell her. I mean, she's always urged me to leave Paco from the beginning. I can't bear to tell her that what's happening now.
Has she been able to maybe help you in the past?
This past summer, she did agree to take care of my kids during the day so that I could keep my day job at the hotel. She was more than happy to help, which was really nice of her.
Well, it sounds like your sister plays a big role in your life, and she's been there in the past to support you, and she really cares about you.
Yeah, you're definitely right. She has. I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea to ask her for help again.
All right. On a scale, I'm going to ask you a scaling question, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
So we're going to do from a scale to 1 to 10, 1 being not ready at all and 10 being very ready. How ready are you to do something in order to fix your current situation?
Well, I'm just so tired of the bruises and the pain. It's just not only physically draining, but emotionally as well. I would have to say a 7. I no longer want to live like this, and I care way too much for my safety of my kids.
Okay, that's good. Can I ask you why you chose a 7 instead of a 4 or 5?
Well, like I said before, I'm ready to change, and I want to take control of my life.
Yeah, I can't imagine the pain that you must be going through. I can tell that you really care about him still after everything, but it's difficult to get his attention and take you seriously, and you're unsure of your own financial stability.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I've told him multiple times that I would leave him if he kept abusing me physically and emotionally. But he knows deep inside that I couldn't. And he basically has me under his spell because he knows I can't afford it. And he knows that I won't be able to provide for myself and my kids. And I mean, I guess now it's maybe time to put my words into action and prove him wrong.
Alright, that sounds like a great step in the right direction. And just to make sure that we're on the same page here, you are prepared to leave your husband for some period of time, but are worried about your financial situation, but you do have your sister as a support system.
Sounds about right.
Are there any other things that you've done in the past that you could maybe implement now to change your current situation?
Well, I've asked him to go to marriage counseling multiple times, and of course, he refused to go. And I have gone to the Women's Crisis Center for guidance, as you know, and encouragement to keep going. But I've never stayed there overnight because I don't want Papa coming home to an empty house. And again, there is a financial security that I have staying with Paco.
There are many places like the Women's Crisis Center that can help you financially to get back on your feet, and that there's also other options for you other than just the Women's Crisis Center. There's government assistance that they will also help you apply for, so you can afford. It's definitely possible for you to afford living on your own with your 2 kids. Um, so how does that sound to you?
I mean, that sounds awesome, and I would definitely like to get more information on that.
Okay, so are you willing to continue these meetings once a week to see how you are progressing and fulfilling your goals?
Yeah, of course. I think that sounds like a good idea. I think I need somebody to keep me on track then.
Okay, what days work for you?
Probably Mondays because that's when Paco's not normally home. I don't really want him to get any suspicions on what I'm doing.
Okay, and I completely respect that, and that should be fine. December 14th sound good to you?
Yeah, definitely.
And, I didn't ask, mornings or afternoons?
I would prefer mornings.
Okay, sounds good to me. It was very nice seeing you today, and I look forward to next week.
Same.